So one of the things that I feel really strongly about is is that to really change the trajectory of the sport, um, is that like goalies need to get away from this idea that we're just trying to stop things with our stick. Okay. And I see times where even really good goalies, and this is one thing I'll tell you this, because we don't have a pro level, right? And what I mean by that is we don't have professional athletes where they are making all of their money, like all of their income, their livelihood comes from the sport, right? Like, and I mean, I'm talking a good living. Like I saw like Dennis Rodman's daughter just signed a contract with the U.S. women's soccer. Yeah, the I can't remember what team she plays for, but the U.S. women's team. She's what, 19 now, 17, 18, 19, and she's making like $285,000 a year. That's a good deal, right? The base, I think the base salary in women's professional soccer is like 35 grand. And yeah, you can live on that. It's not great, but if you're making 50, 60, 70, 80, $90,000 a year as an athlete, you can live. But I'm talking about like when we start getting higher up and you can be like paying for like full on massage therapy and physical therapy and sports psych, and your diet's like nothing but like organic sushi from Japan, like then we're talking like pro athletes. And I think one of the things that we see in professional lacrosse is, granted, we see guys competing, we see men competing, we see women competing, but really at the end of the day, people are still going back to their families and their job and their work, and they're going like, whoa, wait a second. There's like a little level of like, I'm going to give it up, but I'm not going to give it all up. If you know what I'm saying, right? Like that's important. Okay. Um, and this next clip is kind of like, it kind of, it reminded me of that a little bit. Okay. So, so where are we here? Here we go. So here's the clip. And, so this is a fast break, starts in the, this is going Redwood side, so Tim Troutner is going to be the goalie in the cage as we move down the field. So there's a little bit of a loose ball down here, and a little bit of a scrap, and Whip Snakes come up with the ball. And I love, so Kyle Burnlow, I'll just point this out. Like, this is awesome as a goalie. Like, he is making himself available, which is great. Draws this player out of the way, which is awesome, and then gives the guy that comes up with the ball space. Now, because the Whip Snakes or the Redwoods had been inverting the Whip Snakes here, so meaning all the long poles are basically top center, top right, top left. All the shorties are closest to the goal. Well, if you have a loose ball and one of your defenders comes up with a ball, this is where I teach when I work with a team. We have 6 offensive players. Okay. Or if we get the ball in defense, now we have 6 defensive players transitioning out of here. So that means, like, if you're a short stick and you're side right of the goal and there's a long pole and you're top right of the goal, well, guess what? The long pole is now the midi, for lack of a better term, right? And so this doesn't matter if it's the boys or the girls. Like, it's like, hey, if you're further upfield, we're going to headman or head woman the ball to you, and you're going to go, right? So this is good. So up the ball goes, and so now you've got a long pole catching the ball here, and this is another long pole in the middle of the field. Okay. So here they come. All right. So here they come. And off they go. Now, what's kind of cool is the long pole's got the ball right now, really wants a shot. But he understands that he's going to pass over there. This is probably like their LSM. All right. He passes a little early. And then what's disappointing here, let's just pick on the Redwoods defense for a moment in a couple ways. So right here, the ball's top left. Okay. Ball's top left. And the midi here, I think is that Baptiste who's coming back. He uh he ends up getting drawing the pass right there. But we're still like, the ball's in like midfield. Okay, so even though this is an odd man rush, technically this is like a 5-on-4 at this point. Baptiste should go to the ball again. And so what ends up happening is that the ball is now top center. And so you've got you got a 2-on-1 here. Okay. 2-on-1. And Baptiste should be point. And so if I'm the goalie, I am yelling right now. I'm saying, I want this defender to hold. Okay, so I don't know who this is, but I've got numbers over here. I'm be like, okay, hold. All right, Baptiste, go. And so Baptiste's point, now what ends up happening is we bring everything closer to the cage and we gum things up a little bit. Okay. Now, granted, at the PLL level, guys have amazing sticks and lots of passes, but I don't think there's really an excuse for this. Okay. So so right here, there's no need for this defender to slide right now. No need at all. Right. We now what's happening is yes, a long pole who's got a carbon shaft shooting out a pro goalie. This is sphincter tightening area here, right? This is where the goalie's starting to go like, okay, we need to get a stick on that guy. So I get it. I get it. But what ends up happening, all right, is Baptiste could have been there, all right, in my opinion. So the pass comes, and now, all right, so now we're in rotation. You know, the pass goes side right. Now we're in rotation. So the next defender is going to slide out here. And this is where the mistake happens, okay? Because as a team, for all my high school goalies out there, you got to realize and you got to let your team know, where do you want shots from, right? Would you rather have a shot from 15 yards or would you rather have a shot inside 5? Like or at 8, right? You got to let your D know, because then your D knows where to defend and where not to defend, okay? And it's not their choice, right? That's what's really important, is it's not their choice to um to go, well, I'm going to slide now, right? I'm going to slide now. No, it's like, okay, here, what do we want to have happen? So now the pass comes, and let's just like, just for a moment, let's all like just cringe at the defense right here. All right. Defense slides and does, I don't know what. Like, I have no idea what this is. I'm going to play this full speed just so you can see it. We slide. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So a defender's got to lead and has to contain, right? That's really the job of the defender, is like, okay, you're going to lead. Yeah, we'd love to get a poke check somewhere that it does some damage, but the idea is that you're not going to run past this guy. And what I think happens here a little bit, and I see this a lot in the PLL, which drives me crazy, is defenders like cringing at the ball, right? If you're cringing because you're worried about getting hit by the ball, you need to pad up, because you're not helping out your team, right? If you're going to let your goalie stand on the cage and take that, like, again, doesn't happen in hockey, doesn't happen in soccer, just doesn't happen, right? But for some reason in lacrosse, it's like, it's okay for a defender, a big, tall, 6'3" defender with a long pole, to just go, oh my God, don't hit me, right? Come on. All right, let's go. All right. So this defender slides out, and really, I think right here, he starts to cringe at the shot, and he stands up. He's like, whoa. And this guy just rolls around him. Now here, we're in trouble. Okay. Now, one of the things I love about Troutner's game is that he plays away from the cage. Okay. But if you're going to play a step away from the crease, just play out of the top of the crease. Just play out of the top of the crease. And this is where I'm going to just blow this up so you guys can see a little bit better. This is where, to me, this is a goalie kind of giving up. Okay. Because they know this thing is going to hurt. And if they get hit with it, and it's so damn close, so what are we doing? All right. So here we go. All right, if you watch Troutner here, I'm just going to wait for the legs to clear. All right. Okay, so the attackman spins the long pole. Look, long pole looks like an idiot, and then Troutner is like ready, and he's in a pretty good position here. But if you watch as he goes down, there's not a lot of authority of that stick going down, right? And he's actually like right here. It's like, eh. Now, as a goalie, okay, and listen, all due respect, okay, all due respect, is that as a goalie, we have to, there's a moment here where we don't know if this shot is going low or high. So we have to respect both, but this is where we have to keep our stick available for a shot upstairs, but then be ready to take this shot off the body down low. And this is where I just don't think we're seeing a lot of just oomph on this. If I play this, I'll play this full speed for you. It's not a lot of authority like moving down. Like, if you're just not seeing a lot of like, I'm throwing my leg in front of this ball, right? And that stick doesn't move down like it's just like, okay, I'm going to commit. Because now if we look at the shooter, okay, if we look at the shooter, remove that. We're going to go here, add this screen capture. All right, I'm going to go here, and this should be enough. Boink. Okay, so I'll bring that down there. Okay, so let's look at this for a second. Here you're going to see the shooter in a little bit more space. Okay, so the shooter comes around. Now right here, right, the shooter's still getting his balance, but you kind of know the shot's coming. All right. But right here, you don't know where this ball, like as a goalie, you have to respect this. The release could go low to high. It could go, you know, like low to low. You just don't know. But it's here. It's right here where we can read the shooters. It's really the hands and the stick. I disagree with coaches that say goalies should read the shoulders of the shooter and move early. I don't agree because it is so easy to tip your head and your shoulders one way and your hands somewhere else, right? So I disagree with that. But here what we'll be able to see is the hands come through and the stick. And so we know that right here the ball is not going high, right? Just by the angle of the player, and this comes just with this just comes with experience, right? This just comes with time and energy and experience. And the idea here is we want to this is just the language of lacrosse that a goalie learns over time, and the goalie then knows that the ball is going downhill. All right, it's going in the lower half of the cage somewhere. So that's where we want to be as big as we can. And so that's where I think if we come out, if he's out that far, just keep coming. Like I really just feel keep coming. Tim Troutner's a big dude, right? He's a big dude. He's tall, so his legs will be like inside those pipes. He knows that anything that's basically between his feet is something that needs saving, and then it's a chance to just drive that stick head into the ground. And so, and he doesn't even get there, right? He doesn't even get there. But really, the body language of this whole thing to me is like, this just is going to suck. And I really don't want to get hit with that thing. Okay. And I know Tim would probably like, I don't know Tim personally. And I'm sure he's going like, what the hell is this jackass? No, like whatever. I get it. But the point is just the body language reads to me is like, yo, that sucked. And yeah, and it went in. Right. But I believe that the lacrosse goalie of the future is going to come back at that and go, no, okay, we're going to throw everything down to that ball quickly. And I don't even know what they're talking about here, but it's probably not pretty. Okay. It's like, yeah, I ducked and then you ducked and then the ball's in the net. Yeah, totally. So yeah. And I love here, if you watch this, the love ball right here still wants the ball, right? Boom, boom, boom. And it's like, yeah, okay. Yeah, sure. It's in the cage, but I'm still alive. Right. Yeah. So I just think the lacrosse, actually, I know that the lacrosse goalie of the future is going to move with more authority in front of that ball and live to tell another day. And that ball is either going to fly off a protected knee, a protected shin, a protected foot, whatever. And they will have done thousands of repetitions to be able to do that. And that's really important to just kind of keep to keep in mind. So, no disrespect to, like I say this a lot, right? No disrespect to the goalies that are there. I just think we can do better. And I think one of the reasons we're not doing better now is because our goalies have played unprotected for too long, and they have yet to really utilize their, a body to make that save. It's just too much reliance on the stick. And it's like, oh, if I can't get the stick there, then I'm not, whatever. If it hits me, it hits me. But I'm not necessarily going to make a concerted effort to stop this thing with my ankle, right? But if you look at a handball goalie, they would. If you looked at a soccer goalie, they would, right? So we can see those skills in other sports being applied. We need to bring that to the lacrosse goalie position, and so we can make that save as opposed to having it go by us. All right. All right, guys, thanks for watching and thanks for listening wherever you are. Do me a favor, hit the like button if you like this, and be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. When you're ready, head on over to lacrossegoalieuniversity.com/coaching so I can work with you and your goalie. And while you're at it, check out athletespecific.com to learn more about mental performance and high performance. You may not know this, but I work with athletes in a variety of sports. Lacrosse is my love, but man, I love athletes and the families who support them. So head on over to athletespecific.com and check it out. I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.